and we are going to be doing this one live. Sorry if all the streams didn't start correctly at the same time. That's on you, Apple, or my Wi-Fi is probably the culprit. But anyway, I'm the real_G Warner, going to go through midweek soccer matches, which we have the English Premier League, Coppa Italia, DFB Pokal, the Ligue regular season, I guess, match day 34 or so, and then also we have La Liga playing as well. So let's get right into it without further ado, though we certainly have been doing. And we'll get where the money is, and that is the English Premier League. So first match that I'll touch on there, assuming that my lines will ever come up on my computer. Really great podcasting today. And we're going to have to go off of our spreadsheet. So Tuesday, recording this Tuesday, April 19th. Currently, we have Liverpool as a home team. Thank God the lines finally came up. Liverpool home team to Manchester United, currently giving a goal and a half, coming off the victory this weekend in the FA Cup. And a lot of matches all over the place, whereas Manchester United did play in the league this weekend, got a crazy hat trick from Cristiano Ronaldo to win 3-2 against Norwich, collapsing or choking away a 2-0 lead. It's really unimpressive, about as unimpressive as you can do against the worst team in the league. And now arguably playing the best one. I know City is still ahead at the top of the table, but Liverpool look like the best side in the Premier League. And I got to say, Manchester United, as big as a 1.5 goal spread is for them to get on the road at Anfield, it's going to be a big rivalry match, and that might help, but didn't really help them against Man City. And I got to say, I don't really believe in Manchester United. I think Rangnick was an awful hire. Maybe they somehow sneak into the Champions League places because Tottenham and Arsenal are so poor. But I just don't know that Liverpool certainly have had a huge run of fixtures, but they're used to playing 2 matches a week now. There might be some rotation here because it was a pretty strong lineup, but ultimately Klopp did a good job in the Champions League midweek by not playing everybody, and so that was probably helpful as well. I just certainly can understand if you want to back the rivalry, the derby matchup of a Manchester United-Liverpool matchup. I don't think that there's enough there for me, so I'm going to move on. Moving next to Wednesday, we have Newcastle hosting Crystal Palace. Currently, Newcastle a 1/4 goal favorite at home, with all the juice on Crystal Palace on the road. Newcastle, who's got a late winner, Bruno Guimaraes, scoring twice. Not sure we'll see that again this season, maybe for years, though he is awesome, and Newcastle fans do love him. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, had a match. So both played matches this weekend. Crystal Palace in the FA Cup semis with Chelsea. Disappointing performance, I think, from them. Had a pretty good chance to get back to 2-1, but ultimately offense was not really part of them. And they've struggled to score goals. I don't think that Newcastle are anywhere near the same type of defense that you'll see like the one they saw against Chelsea this weekend. And this will be more of an open game. And I got to say, I like the underdog here because I don't really believe in Newcastle to score. They got a deflection header to win, and they got a kind of bundled it in, kick through the hands, I believe, of Kasper Schmeichel this weekend to score Guimaraes' first goal. I just don't know that they beat Wolves on a silly penalty. Like, there's a lot of things that I just don't really agree with the Newcastle offense really deserving to be this type of a favorite. Makes sense that Crystal Palace have all the juice right now on the road. But I'll lean that way on Wednesday. I guess a bunch of matches are Wednesday midweek. Chelsea then hosting Arsenal. Speaking of Chelsea, a good win this weekend to make the FA Cup final. Arsenal with another loss. I think it's three straight. Pretty disappointing, and don't have a lot of faith in them right now, and you really can't. Chelsea, on the other side, certainly have had their detractors, their problems. Have all the juice right now. Maybe this climbs from 1/2 to 3/4. I think I'm still not interested until Arsenal get a full goal of insurance here, and I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll probably pass on that one. Though I guess I lean Arsenal as an underdog player. Everton then hosts Leicester. Currently, Everton a 1/4 goal favorite. Leicester coming off a lot of matches with the run in the UEFA Conference League still affecting them. Tough loss this weekend, certainly. But, they are playing better than Everton, who look like they're getting safer and safer. Big win in a recent match against Manchester United, I believe. They are not a favorite that I really respect. I don't believe in their offense, really don't like their defense. Leicester, it really depends on what their lineup looks like, though they did a fair amount of rotating for the matchup this weekend, that they should be a pretty fresh and strong lineup they'll put out there. And so I like Leicester getting a quarter on the road. Crowd should be big for Everton as they're still not feeling safe, but it's starting to look like they're a lot better than the rest of, especially after Burnley choked away 3 points this weekend. Manchester City then hosting Brighton, coming off a disappointing FA Cup loss, but they did rotate quite a bit. Should have pretty fresh legs for this one, considering and a goalkeeper that might actually be capable, because Zach Steffen, USA international, doesn't seem to be. Man City is currently a 2-goal favorite to Brighton, who Brighton played pretty well this weekend after winning on the road at Arsenal. Impressed with the victory against Tottenham. I mean, playing pretty well. Getting full 2 goals is a big number, considering Brighton, what they do is they're going to really make it hard on Man City to score. All the juice right now currently on Brighton. I do feel like in the marketplace that money will always hit Manchester City. And so I don't know that I really need to jump on this +2 right now. Though I got to say, I don't think I'm as interested at 1 3/4 as I would be at 2 on Brighton. So that's of interest to me. It looks like the line's coming down a little bit, at least since I've been tracking it. And I got to say, I think Man City, they've got a lot on their mind. So unfortunately, getting through and I mean, the FA Cup was the FA Cup. They rotated a lot, so that was tough. But we'll see what happens with them as we move forward, like Brighton +2. Burnley then hosting Southampton. Just check and make sure my streams are still running because, of course, I just got a call in the middle of it, per usual. Everything looks good. Okay. Coming back, Burnley, a pick'em right now to Southampton. A little more juice on Southampton on the road. And I don't really understand that. Burnley looked pretty good in their first match after Sean Dyche. I don't really understand what their American ownership is doing, but wonder if they had a spat or fallen out or something like that. Burnley, I mean, Maxwell Cornet missing the net on a penalty. That was pretty bad to go up 2-0. Ended up basically handing 2 points back that they really needed to avoid relegation. Meanwhile, Southampton got a good win this weekend, over Arsenal, but I'm not really a believer in their offense. I think at Pick'em, there's not much for me to do here, but hoping that Burnley move to a home underdog. And that covers our Premier League from this week. So good on that. Sorry that it was kind of disjointed, but the rest of this podcast will be to the usual standards, or so I hope. Moving to La Liga. So we have some matches here today on Tuesday. Mallorca hosting Alaves. Currently Mallorca a half-a-goal favorite. Alaves with a big win this weekend. They are trying to fight their way out of relegation. It's not looking good, but they finally got rid of Mendilibar, which is really important. And I think that will help with Jose Lu, their only real scorer, to help him take off. Mallorca, really disappointing to lose in kind of got blasted at Elche, who were basically down to like our third team, fourth choice striker, basically, it seemed like to me. From where I sit, I'm looking at Alaves getting half of a goal. They are not a prom queen. They are not good. They're going to defend and try to escape with a point. I just don't see Mallorca's offense really doing much. They're not playing well either. It's a battle of two teams that aren't playing well, that are kind of both relegation threatened. I think this will be really tight. Mallorca at home will want 3 points, but I think one is sufficient for them because they wouldn't be giving Alaves 3, and Alaves on the road will want 1. So I think like 0-0 seems like a very real possibility here, especially on tired legs, considering both teams played this weekend and no one is playing next weekend because that is reserved for the Copa del Rey final. Betis then hosting Elche. Currently Betis a 1-goal favorite. Elche not playing well, but got a big win this weekend. Their striking position is about as unhealthy as it gets. I don't think that they're going to get anybody back for this one. We'll ultimately see. But from where I sit, Betis is a 1-goal favorite. It's a big number to get that full goal of insurance. Considering they haven't been playing great and they have their eyes on the Copa del Rey this weekend. I mean, that's the key, I guess, to see what kind of lineup Betis will put out there today. Villarreal then hosting Valencia. Currently Villarreal a 1.25 goal favorite. Big number. Valencia certainly looking ahead to Copa del Rey. Probably rotates quite a bit. Villarreal haven't been playing well in the league. They have their eyes set on Champions League because they're not going to qualify for it in La Liga. But huge number. Villarreal certainly can score, and they have a really good team that's done really well in Champions League. and they've kind of taken that more seriously, I think, this season than they have La Liga. Whether that's a good decision or not, they made it to the semifinals, so that's pretty impressive. I'm interested in Valencia, but I want to make sure who's in that lineup before I commit fully. Moving to Wednesday, Atletico Madrid hosting Granada. Currently, Atleti a 1.5 goal favorite. Huge number, huge bailout. I think it was potentially the right call, a handball based on Raul de Tomas's reaction, but I don't know how you overturn a VAR when you can't confirm that it's definitely hit his hand when it looked like it hit his knee. Based on a player's reaction, I mean, it probably tells enough of the story. But Atleti I guess took a lead, hung on for dear life, ended up giving up a pretty tough goal on a free kick to Espanyol, and then ended up, I guess, getting a victory, getting 3 points. It seems the way the Atleti have done it this season, it's been really infuriating. They get these late goals to cover the spread, to push, all these sort of things. It's a pretty big favorite. Granada, on the other hand, with a bad loss this weekend to Levante, who are trying to fight their way out of relegation. Granada are heading right towards it. Their club is in such dire straits compared to being in Europa League just, I think, 2 seasons ago, or maybe even last season. But they've had a bunch of issues with managers and kind of with the direction of the club, et cetera, et cetera. Granada are going to have to turn it on pretty quick to start playing well. I don't like them right now. I don't think they're playing well. Atleti giving a goal and a half, though, is just a monstrous number for a team that has been getting so many undeserved results that makes me want to play Granada. But I'm going to try to stay away from it, even though getting a goal and a half is such a huge number, because I don't think this is a situation where Atleti can really steamroll anybody right now, especially with tired legs on a quick turnaround. Moving to the next match on Wednesday, that's Celta de Vigo hosting Hetafe. Currently Celta a quarter goal favorite. With all the juice, it looks like it's trending towards a half. Still feels really cheap to me. They had a really good performance this weekend at Athletic Club in San Mamés, but Hetafe, they're going to play defense, but they're not going to be able to score with Celta, so that's not a team that's going to make my card. Osasuna then hosting Real Madrid. Currently, Osasuna a 3/4 goal underdog at home. Most of the juice on Real Madrid on the road. Maybe this climbs to 1. I don't know if we'll see that, but good chance they will. Real Madrid with a crazy comeback. I mean, Sevilla just capitulating was really disappointing and potentially puts them in trouble with Champions League, but we're focusing on Real Madrid now. They're coming pretty close to being able to clinch this La Liga title. Osasuna, their crazy season, they were so good on the road, so bad at home. That kind of flip-flop, but then they got a good result this weekend on the road at Valencia. We'll see what they kind of put out there. Certainly will be struggling on the quick turnaround. Real Madrid are pretty used to that. I think Osasuna, as they climb to a 1-goal underdog at home, will be a little bit more interesting to me, but currently at 3/4 of a goal. Not interesting, because I just think Real Madrid are going to win this matchup. At worst, tie, but I mean, it's very possible in my multiple goals. I don't really see that happening, but we'll end up seeing. We'll move to Thursday, Levante hosting Sevilla. Speaking of Sevilla, I'm sure crestfallen. I don't think that they really had their eyes on winning La Liga, but now they got to look over their shoulders for Champions League. Fortunately, the teams around them have been doing great. There's 4 spots, and Barcelona, Atleti are probably teams that probably will make it, and the others behind them, Betis, Sevilla and Derby, and Andalusian Derby, not great that they're getting caught by their in-city rival, North versus South. But Real Sociedad doesn't seem to be a real contender to me. But anyway, Sevilla going on the road as a 1/2 goal favorite. Got to go win. They should do that against a Levante side that doesn't have a defense. But Sevilla haven't been playing well, frankly. Levante are fighting like heck. They have a good offense. They always have. They've sort of figured out their defense by playing 3 center backs and then just trying to be a lot more conservative. I'm not sure that that's working or if that's something that they can continue to do, but probably when they host Sevilla, they see that as 1 point being an important point. 3 points would be dreamland, but probably not expected. Currently getting 1/2 of a goal is of interest to me. It's just very juiced right now. Might be falling to a 1/4. And I think a home draw is probably the maximum you can expect from Levante in this one. Sevilla should be angry. Haven't been playing well, and that makes me want to play Levante. But we'll see if this 1/2 a goal gets a little bit less pricey, because minus 130 is a tough to be profitable at that number. Espanyol then hosting Rayo Vallecano. Currently Espanyol a pick'em, but with all the juice. Rayo, if they move to a 1/4, it's of interest to me, but they've been playing so poorly for 6 months now that they seem to get a lot of results at home against bad teams, and that's really all they've done all season. I'm not interested in them anymore. Cadiz and hosting Athletic Club. Currently, Cadiz a quarter goal underdog at home. Quick turnaround considering they just played yesterday Monday Night Football against Barcelona. Athletic Club, they did not play well, but they should be in a position to have a lot of the ball. That's not really their style, and I like going against them as a favorite and love backing them as an underdog. I just don't know that Cadiz only getting a quarter at home is enough for me because there's a big difference between these two sides. Athletic Club are really talented. Cadiz are not. Real Sociedad then hosting Barcelona in the last La Liga match of this midweek. Sociedad a quarter goal underdog at home, and that seems way too cheap to me. Barcelona, yeah, quicker turnaround, but especially because I think Sociedad played on Friday, goalless draw with Betis. Barcelona are better; they can score more. They control that first matchup. Real Sociedad did for a lot of it, and still didn't even cover, I think, a spread of over a goal at Barcelona. Barcelona certainly has a disappointment of crashing out of Europa League, but was that really that big of a deal to them? They're still on pace to finish in the Champions League places in La Liga. Won't win the title, not the Scudetto because it's not Italy. But regardless, getting a quarter is too short. It looks like it's not very juiced, or it's very juiced on the Barcelona side. So maybe it moves to a half. I think that's a minimum that I'd be interested in backing Sociedad here, but even then, I'm not sure because I just don't know that they can hang with Barcelona even without Pedri. Now moving to Coppa Italia. So no Serie A midweek, but we do have a big one today. Inter Milan hosting AC Milan, shared stadium, but more tickets will be on Inter's side. Road goals do matter. It was goalless in the first leg, so AC Milan are in pretty good shape. If they score here, Inter will need 2, and will need to win this match. So from what I see, AC Milan, if they take a lead or if it's 0-0, that is beneficial to AC Milan because they will, if they score, they're in great shape to go through and will defend like crazy. Current number is Inter Milan giving a quarter of a goal with all the juice right now, which has fallen from a half. So that's a big number to change, but would love AC Milan to get up to a half of a goal underdog because I like them. I think that they can stymie Inter. They've looked pretty good against them in their matchups this year. Won, I think, a league match a few weeks ago. And Inter, I still don't believe in their scoring. They can score against bad teams, but AC Milan, they have a lot more defensive ability than I think they get credit for. They can attack better than you'd think. Olivier Giroud turned around this matchup from a 1-0 deficit to winning 2-1. And in the league match a month ago or whatever. And I really like AC Milan to potentially advance here, in great shape to do it. Just really need a goal and they can draw 1-1, and that would be enough for them. Getting a quarter is enough for me, but it's probably a number that I'd like to see hit a half again. We'll probably pay a fair amount of juice for that, but it'll be worth it. Moving to Wednesday, Coppa Italia, Juve hosting Fiorentina. Juve currently a half a goal favorite with all the juice. Will maybe climb into 3/4 of a goal. But Fiorentina are a situation where they lost the first leg 1-0 on a late own goal, if I remember correctly, and they're in trouble because that road goal matters. So Fiorentina must be on the front foot. I think Juve are going to sit back and be able to sit in and counter, which is a good position for Juve to be in. Though I don't know that they, with Vlahovic, are that same type of lineup that are going to have the speed or the pace to really get on Fiorentina. Fiorentina have been playing pretty well, I think, in the league. They are in a situation where they're going to have to score the first goal, though, to really have a chance here. And that's going to be tough. So we'll see how that works. I do like that situation as an underdog. They're going to have to be on the front foot, and we'll have to play a little bit more attacking than I would want for a team that's playing Juve. But Juve were very fortunate to escape with a draw against Bologna this weekend. I don't know that they're playing great or really. I mean, Vlahovic has been so good for them, but that was something they badly needed. Their midfield is so banged up, injured, like starting guys they don't want to, essentially. Adrian Rabiot doesn't seem to be someone they really ever want. And Fiorentina getting a half a goal is a big number for me, so I'm interested there. We'll see if that is a number that I end up wanting to take. But I guess we also have 2 advanced numbers. Currently, Inter Milan, a -130 favorite to move on. I like AC Milan at even money. All lines current on Bet Online. Like AC Milan is even money. And then Fiorentina are 4-1 to advance because having to overturn that road goal seems like that'll be pretty difficult. I must admit. So probably not going to look too much further into that. And from here, we'll move to the DFB Pokal, which does play today. We have Hamburg hosting Freiburg. Currently, Hamburg a quarter goal underdog at home. And that's a pretty low number. I mean, Coppa or DFB Pokal Cup matches, they play a lot closer, I think, than league play, especially Hamburg being a Schweizer Liga, so second division in Germany. But really historic club, probably will have nuts fans, big crowd, big environment. Freiburg going on the road as a favorite is really respectful. I mean, but they are currently in a Europa League place in the Bundesliga and have deserved that, I think, based on a really good defense. Hamburg, I'm not as in touch with. But certainly I'm not looking to fade the home underdog in a match where extra time is a winning bet on Hamburg, and then will be seen as probably a success for Hamburg as well. And also one of those things where late in the match, if it's tied, probably not a lot of chances will be taken at the end, and they'll probably play for extra time. So Hamburg would be my lean as the home underdog. I just don't know that I want to go against Freiburg, who looked great this weekend. They were so clinical finishing. I wouldn't expect that to happen back-to-back times, but I do think Freiburg will keep Hamburg potentially off the score sheet. Clean sheet would be huge, because then that's going to be really hard because Hamburg can't win, and that means your quarter goal bet is not going to pay out at that full price. I don't know. I think home dog is of interest. I wouldn't fault anyone for playing that, but I think Freiburg are a lot better, clearly playing well in the bigger league, and that seems kind of obvious to say, but two advanced lines currently, Hamburg is a 125 underdog, Freiburg minus 145. So pretty close considering the differences in the two teams, but Hamburg playing it at home certainly tips that scale a little bit in their direction. And you might not really be getting the Freiburg might be a discount on the road. I guess you could say that based on how they've been playing. Moving to Wednesday in the Pokal, other semifinal of RB Leipzig hosting Union Berlin. Leipzig, a 1.25 goal favorite. And they've been playing really well. They've got a lot of depth. Union do not have a lot of depth. They've been losing a lot of their players, signing other places, going somewhere in the future. Didn't affect them against Hertha Berlin, a big derby. Berlin is red because they beat them, I think, 3 times this season, including a cup play, Pokal. And I mean, the team to look for to potentially back here is Union getting a goal and a quarter with all the juice. Maybe this falls to 1. Still a pretty nice safety spot, but Leipzig, their offense is so good that they can really turn it on. Union have shown that they've struggled in midweek matches because they really don't have the depth that they need, and that's only gotten worse this season. Leipzig are looking so strong, so dominant. Certainly is a match that could play tight, and we'll see what happens where this number goes. I think even at +1, I'm still leaning to Union. I'm just not sure that they have the staying power to hang around with Leipzig at home, because once that first goal goes in, I think it's going to be really tough for Union to hang around. Currently, 2 advanced lines. Leipzig are minus 550, so getting plus 375 on Union to advance on the road. I don't really believe that. I mean, it's a lot of long odds there for them. I'm just not sure that I see it happening. Last but not least, moving to the Ligue 1 in France. These are, I think, all Wednesday matches. Half the league playing at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. and the rest at 3 or 4 or whatever time that would be. So we'll go in right now. Lorient hosting Metz. Currently, Lorient a 3/4 goal favorite at home. Lean to Metz, but they haven't been playing well. They're, I think, bottom of the table and look like they are going down to Ligue 2. Unfortunately, Lorient have been playing pretty well, so big favorite at 3/4. Wouldn't really expect that. Maybe this falls to a half. Still feels a little bit big for Lorient, but they've been certainly playing better and deserved better at Nice this weekend. Did not give up a late goal to lose. I think actually gave up 2 goals. Were ahead, but I guess got an equalizer and lost. But anyway, Monaco then hosting Nice. Monaco playing really well. They're a 1/2 goal favorite with all the juice, or almost all the juice. Nice, it's kind of put up or shut up time. They're drifting out of Champions League spots for sure, and are kind of fighting to hang around in Europa League, which has been really, really tight competition in France this season. It's been a great season besides PSG being a million miles ahead at the top. Monaco playing really well, got a big win at Stade Rennais at Rennes, and then they're in position to potentially sneak into a Champions League place, which would be quite a jump from where they were middling just a few weeks ago, really. But they've been winning all the time, and so being a 1/2 goal favorite makes sense based on their win streak. this one climbs 3/4 of a goal. Then you only lose half if Monaco win by a single goal. I still don't really believe in the Monaco offense. I feel like an easier schedule has really taken them up, though I can't slight the win against Rennes because that was a big deal. Nice, I love Christophe Galtier. He's been pretty disappointing lately, or at least the results have been from his side, from his team. Got a big win at the death, essentially, from Andy Delors with a big header on the weekend. That should add some confidence. Monaco will certainly have more of that. But I like Nice getting more. I mean, when a draw is a winning bet on Christophe Galtier, it's always of interest to me. Bordeaux then hosting Saint Etienne in a battle at the bottom of two really historic clubs that don't look safe at all. Bordeaux, they're in worse situation. They are at home. They're giving 1/4 of a goal, which is a lot to Saint Etienne, who every time I bet Saint Etienne, they collapse, they take a lead and give it away. Every time I bet against them, they go behind and then somehow come back to win. Literally the last 2 matches, exactly how that's gone. And I feel like that keeps repeating itself. So it's almost like in a Saint Etienne game, you don't want to score the first goal. However, I think Bordeaux are more likely to give up that first goal, which makes me want to back the road team as an underdog, because I think Saint Etienne could go in, basically, in all intents and purposes, eliminate Bordeaux with a win on the road here, and give themselves a huge jump. But also a point doesn't seem like a bad result, because it also is like basically playing defense to a team that's trying to catch up to you. And the third to last being a playoff position feels like a little bit more safety offered than maybe it should be. So I'm interested in Saint Etienne getting 1/4 of a goal. We'll see where this number ends up shaking out. And certainly with tired legs, I think that will provide even more of a likely stalemate. Bordeaux got embarrassed this weekend, but they've been embarrassed all year. I don't really think that will help them too much. Reims then hosting Lille. Currently Reims a 1/4 goal underdog at home. Lille just don't really seem to me like a road favorite. They haven't played well this year. Reims have been so good to me, and I will probably be backing them because I basically bet them every week. Troyes then hosting Clermont Foot. Currently Troyes a 1/4 goal favorite at home. Clermont are going to take it to them. Don't believe in the Troyes offense. Don't really believe that they can score enough goals. Clermont Foot are going to be on the front foot, as I make that joke every week. And hopefully one person laughed at it by now. Like Clermont Foot as the road underdog. Certainly not a huge number on 1/4, but enough for me. Lens then hosting Montpellier. Currently Lens a 3/4 goal favorite with a great performance this weekend, winning the derby against Lille. Montpellier not playing well. And it's one of those situations where they finally kept a clean sheet, but of course couldn't score. I don't know that. I mean, even if this got to 1, I think the ship for me on Montpellier has sailed, because they've played so poorly and have struggled so much, even from good positions. I just don't know if they're a team I want to touch anymore for the rest of the season. Strasbourg then hosting Rennes, currently a pick'em, and what might be the match of the weekend. Both teams fighting for Europe. Rennes pretty disappointed off their performance this weekend, but if they move to an underdog, I'll be very interested, because I don't know that Strasbourg are better than them. Don't think they are. Home crowd will certainly help. And it seems like France has kind of restricted road fans from traveling. So it makes more of a home crowd advantage. I just don't know that it's enough here, because Rennes are so deep, so strong. They can come at you from so many different angles that I like Rennes. Currently pick them, though, so not much for me to do there. Angers then hosting PSG. Angers a 1-goal underdog at home. All the juice on PSG. And I don't understand this number. It's so low. Angers have been playing better, maybe thanks to their new third-string goalkeeper who came in and basically saved their bacon this past weekend. PSG were in control of the Marseille match. Were maybe fortunate to get a victory, but I mean, had a lot of chances and I think deserved it. And now going from 1.5 goal favorites in Le Classique against the second place team to then going on the road to Angers midweek. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they rest a ton of people. They have no reason to do that because they're out of all the other competitions. I don't see this anywhere why this number is so short. So it's the market basically saying, taking a stand on Angers, and I will not be with them. Marseille then hosting Nantes. Currently Marseille, 3/4 goal favorite with all the juice, potentially climbing to 1. And this is a big fixture overload, having played midweek in the Conference League and successfully advancing to the semifinal there, then playing PSG on the weekend. It's asking a lot for who Marseille are going to be, what they're going to put out there. Haven't had Arkadiusz Milik for a long time, and that really affects their offense. I'm not sure that they'll get bundle over the line goals, or that's something you can really rely upon from Celta Sar, as you saw against PSG this weekend. So I'm interested in Nantes currently getting 3/4, especially interested if it gets to 1. And last but not least, before we close this episode out, we have Brest hosting Lyon. Currently Brest, a 3-quarter goal underdog at home with most of the juice right now. But I think we'll probably stay here because Lyon seem to get bet. Lyon with a great performance this weekend, coming off a disappointing exit in Europa League. Have really not a lot to play for because they're a middling league team right now. Brest, definitely not a great performance, taking a lead at Saint Etienne and then capitulating, giving up 2 goals in sad fashion, put it that way. But I like them as a home underdog. Would love them at +1. Don't think it'll get there, but we'll end up seeing. And I think that is going to close out our episode today. Just want to make sure. Went through Premier League, Coppa Italia, La Liga, DFB Pokal, and Liga. I mean, not sure how many podcasts are doing that sort of stuff out there. So thank you all for watching, joining, listening, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, StreamYard, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere you're finding me. I appreciate it. Feel free if you got anything you want to throw at me, @the_real_G Warner on Twitter, and I will talk to you all soon.
Recording stopped.
Welcome back to our coverage of this Bundesliga clash between Union Berlin and Eintracht Frankfurt at the Stadion an der Alten Försterei. It is 2-0 to Union at the break. Kevin Hatchard and Sean Dundee, your commentators for this one. And we can see here the average positions powered by AWS. And as you...
Good evening from Barcelona, good day wherever you are, and welcome to the Camp Nou for Barcelona against Cadiz. Well, they have won the trophy this season, Football Club Barcelona, but that is the futsal trophy being presented to the Barca team before the game. And as they say around here, Xavi is now concentrating on the league rather than any of the cups with the senior men's team.
He has to. Poor performance against Eintracht Frankfurt in midweek. Poor in the first leg as well. So they were particularly great against Levante, so they need a response here. He's made 1 or 2 changes, as we've heard from the studio, from Gemma Soler, Luis Garcia. So those players that come in, particularly Memphis Depay, need to have a good game. Damian hasn't been at his best in the last few weeks. No surprise he's been left out.
Well, our experts on the ground in Spain, Gemma and Luis, going for Barcelona victories, but it isn't a formality. The last 3 games between these teams, Barca haven't won. Earlier in the season, it was a 0-0 draw down in Andalusia. Last season, when Cadiz came here, it was a 1-1 draw. They got an 89th minute penalty. And Barcelona also went to Cadiz in December 2020 and were beaten by 2-1. Cadiz are fighting for their La Liga lives in the last relegation place, but only a point behind Mallorca, who were beaten this weekend. And it's a slightly depleted stadium this evening as there are protests at outside the Camp Nou, following 30,000 German supporters somehow getting tickets for the quarter-final in the Europa League in midweek. But the players, Stuart, need the support of the fans to lift them through. They're doing brilliantly in La Liga, but they may be a little bit down in the dumps after going out of Europe unexpectedly.
Yeah, as we said, they need a performance here. Those players coming in